How are you? This is Michael Williams. In this session entitled How to Stop Stuttering by Affirming Your New Way of Speaking. In this session, I'm actually going to give you the very first part of that daily protocol, that daily routine that we talked about in the last session. So if you haven't watched the last session, I want to encourage you to go back and watch it, okay? So in this session, How to Stop Stuttering by Affirming Your New Way of Speaking, we're going to talk about the very first step, the very first activity that you use in your daily routine, your daily protocol. And if you recall, we said that having a daily routine, something that you do every day, helps to create and to strengthen those neural pathways, those neurological connections between your brain cells that is represented in and represented by the way that you speak and the way that you think and the way that you act, right? That's what this boils down to. So the first activity, the first thing that you do is you affirm your new way of speaking. So what do we mean by affirm? Well, one of the first things that you do in the morning time is you wake up, and before you leave your bathroom, preferably as you're waking up, and we'll talk about why briefly, but definitely before you leave your bathroom. Most people go to the bathroom first thing in the morning. You want to do this in the morning when you're fresh. You want to affirm your new way of speaking. In the Pro 90D speech systems, in our mobile self-study, we actually give you a set of affirmations that you can say to yourself that literally rewire your brain, that help you to change your mindset. It's not just something you do once or twice. You do this every day. And you experience resistance to it because you have a current mindset that anticipates you're going to get stuck, that anticipates you can't introduce yourself, or that you're going to get stuck on this word or this letter, or you can't speak up in this situation. You have these current patterns of thinking. So what do we have to do? We have to replace them with new ones. And one of the ways, not the only way now, but one of the ways that you do this is by affirming a new way of speaking and a new way of thinking. And you do this every morning. Why in the morning? In the morning, it's because your brain has less activity going on. So as you come out of sleep, beta, alpha, theta, right? As you come out of deep sleep and you go into alpha state is where you're awake but you're really relaxed. Beta is when you're wide awake, so there's a lot of brain wave activity. You really want to do these affirmations when you're in the alpha state. You're coming out of theta into alpha, so there's less activity, there's less interference in your brain. Interference meaning you're thinking about, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to drive here, I got to do, right? So these are the kinds of activity or thought patterns that you have when you're fully awake, beta. But you really want to do this in alpha state where you're relaxed, and your brain will receive the affirmations easily and smoothly and clearly. Okay, with less resistance. Now, many people forget to do this when they first wake up. So then I encourage them to do it before you leave the bathroom. Now, yes, you might be in beta state then, but you're still a little more relaxed than you are later on in the day. You're fresher. You have more mental horsepower. So I encourage you to do your affirmations first thing in the morning, preferably as you're waking up, but if not, then definitely in your bathroom before you leave. Remember, in the Pro 90 speech system, in the mobile self-study, we give you the affirmations. These have been tested over the years. We give you the affirmations and the formula for creating the affirmations, right? There's a very specific formula. In fact, there's two that we give you, and if you don't use the right formula, then you could be saying like, I don't stutter anymore. That's not going to work. There's a very specific formula that we give you in the self-study, in the system, and we give you a set of affirmations that we've seen over the years with hundreds and hundreds and even thousands of clients that work. So if you're interested in getting that formula and getting those affirmations, then I want to encourage you to take a serious look at the Pro 90D mobile self-study. And you can get that on our website, right? It's pro90d.com. Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember that you want to affirm your new way of speaking and your new way of thinking first thing in the morning. Again, this is Michael Williams, and I'll see you in the next session.